What's up guys, and welcome back to this next unboxing and overview of a product that's going to be going in this ITX build that I am building for my coverage and rendering machine at CES. Now, when you're dealing with a really small case like the Node 304 here, there are going to be some size constraints when it comes to what kind of power supply you can put in there and still allow yourself enough depth to be able to install a standard length graphics card. So unless you're going with something small like the 760 Gaming from MSI or the old 670s that are the nice short PCB, you're going to have to be mindful of how big the power supply is. So in order to make sure that we didn't have any compatibility issues with this Fractal case, Fractal was kind enough to send me one of their Integra power supply units that are intentionally designed to be installed in a case like this, specifically their Node. Now this is the Integra R2, it's a 650 watt power supply. It is at 80 plus bronze, so that means it's the lowest 80 plus rating with the exception of just 80 plus, which means that we are going to be dealing with about 80% power efficient. Now there are going to be some give and take when it comes to power supplies that are this small, so I'm not upset about it being an 80 plus bronze, because it's still going to give me that bronze rating knowing it has decent quality parts in there, and it's going to keep the efficiency at a level that I can tolerate. Now this isn't going to be used extensively for gaming or anything like that. Initially it's going to be just a rendering machine for me. So it does come with a 3-year warranty here from Fractal Design, and it does feature one ATX 20 pin plus 4 pin, that's your ATX plug. It does have one ATX 12 volt 8 pin for your CPU power. It has 2 times PCI Express E, so I'm assuming this may not be SLI capable. We'll take a look at that. Now, being the uber dork that I am, I forgot to go back and mention in the video that this is SLI and Crossfire capable. So if you have multiple graphics cards, go ahead and have a ball. Please continue. Has 6 times SATA power, 2 times peripheral power, and 1 times floppy drive. I wish you guys would just nix that floppy drive. Nobody, that was my chair, I swear, I didn't just fart. Who uses the floppy drive plug anymore? Just get rid of that. Just get rid of that. But the fact that it only has 2 times 4 pin Molex really shows that we're getting away from the old school 4 pin and starting to use more SATA when it comes to power. Now opening this guy up, I have no idea what to expect. I have not looked at this yet. You get a nice heavy duty wall plug for your power supply unit. Big bundle of wire. You do get your 4 screws here for your case and a couple of, well, 3 zip ties. 3. But anyway, here is your user's manual and a little bit of cardboard, and here is our power supply. Now, on the surface, it doesn't really look too much smaller than a standard size power supply, but trust me, it is. What's actually smaller is the depth. Now, aesthetically, this is pretty pleasing. It's a nice matte black. It has the fractal snowflake kind of embossed on the top here, and it has a looks like a 120 millimeter fan on the bottom here that is going to be pulling air in and exhausting out of the back. You do have a power toggle switch, which is important. I feel all power supplies should have that toggle switch. This makes it easier of getting power out of the system if you have to do some work on it. Always flip this switch off when you're working on your system. And you do have all of your cables here that come with a nice little Velcro strap holding it all together. Now the length of the cable is pretty much standard. I don't think this is gonna really work for something like a stacker, but for a case like this, it's more than enough, or their Arc Mini or maybe their Arc XL, I'm not sure. I'm sure the cable's long enough for that. But here is our CPU power. Everything has this kind of a mediocre sleeve to it. I mean, it's fairly transparent, so you can see all the colors of the wire. Not really a huge fan of that. But keep in mind, guys, it is not modular. One of the reasons why it's not modular is it gives them control of where the wires are coming out. So it gives us maximum control of clearance in this case for having a longer graphics card, because the graphics card is going to basically, I don't know why you can see this. If we're looking down in the case, the graphics card is basically going to come right along the back of this power supply like this. So it's important to make sure that they have the cables coming out on the right side. So they have full control over that. The length of them, I'd say they're right in the middle, which is good because for a case like this, you don't want a huge, giant, massive ball of wires in there. And as it is, I'm gonna have my work cut out for me making this look good in a case like that. Even though you really can't see in it, and even though it's being used at CES pretty much only, I'm still a wiring snob, and I have to make sure that it looks good. So guys, there it is, the Fractal Design Integra R2 650 watt 80 plus bronze rated power supply. If you're looking at building a small case like this, or any ITX form factor, and depth is important when it comes to your power supply. In fact, it'd probably be important if I told you guys what the depth was on this. Let's see if it's actually printed on here. Yeah, it's 140 millimeters deep, so it really is small. And in fact, when it comes to the power curve on here, it looks like we're reaching about 88% efficient at around a 50% load, and then we drop down to 82% efficient at 100% load. So there you go, that's why it has the bronze rating. But still, it's perfectly fine for me. I mean, 82% efficient isn't horrible. It does have a silent 120 millimeter fan, and it is low speed and temperature controlled, so as the load goes up, the fan will ramp up, so it won't be super loud and annoying when you're just idling or browsing the internet, or maybe looking at some of that there content. So there it is, guys, the Fractal Design Integra R2. Check it out, tell me what you think about this power supply unit. Make sure you follow me for all that CES coverage on Twitter. You definitely want to be watching on Twitter, because I'll be bringing you lots of stuff via that social outlet. Same thing with the Facebook page. All the information is down in the description. And as always, guys, if you stumbled across my channel, I hope you stick around, and I will see you in my next video.